Okay, cool. All right, 3, 2, 1, let's go. Fantasy football show, December 9th, 2025, week 14. LT and the calculator in the house. They gonna get this party rolling. Fellas, I hand the mic over to you.
Greetings and salutations, Mr. 411. Hey, for the majority of leagues, it's playoff time, is it not, LT? Is that what time of year it is, my friend?
Absolutely.
So yeah, we finally got our commissioner in the listener league to get, kind of align with everything else so that we can be right on track. So, but hey, before we get into what happening in the listener league, I'm gonna go over some news and notes. I'm trying to pull it up. Well, the major notes, the major news of the day was Daniel Jones injury. You know, torn Achilles, out for the year. But you can say, hey, that was really people, playing Daniel Jones. It's not necessarily his injury; it's how his injury will affect everybody else. I think it will be a negative effect to Jonathan Taylor because Daniel Jones could at least keep them somewhat on defense is somewhat honest. They can just stack the box now if they're going to go up against any Joe Schmo quarterback like that Riley Leonard, the rookie out of Notre Dame that was running for his life. Because if people remember, Anthony Richardson is on IR due to that weight training fiasco pregame ritual where he got hit with an exercise band and fractured some orbital bones. So they had to go to a rookie. Wasn't very good, and now he's injured. So guess what, LT? They have signed Philip Rivers. I kid you not, folks. You can't make this up. Phillips River has come out of retired after 4 years and has signed with the Colts. LT, do you think he actually starts this week?
Well, he does know the offense.
Yeah,
he has played before, and he's 44 years old.
Yes, yeah. So I don't know about you, but I'm not too far removed from 44, and I couldn't imagine playing, football at 44. I know Tom Brady did it. What did Tom Brady? Did he do it until he was 50? It seemed like. I mean, he did it forever. So, but hey, we'll see. Thing is, okay, I'll give Philip Rivers. Got to give the Colts credit. They went out there and took a chance, and like they're saying, hey. Riley Leonard might not he's not healthy himself. They said he's week to week. And if you've listened to our show, what does week to week mean? Week means it's 7 times worse than day to day. So he's going to miss time, and they have no faith in Rippin, who apparently was their practice squad quarterback. So apparently he's doing so bad, they just picked up a guy that hadn't played football in 4 years and see what he's going to do. But hey, they know they need a playoff. They need to win. They're still in the playoff mix. If they were out of the playoffs, they would just go with what they got, But I think, hey, he could surprise you. Philip Rivers wasn't half bad. When because he's the type of quarterback that he's that pocket quarterback. So he doesn't do all the running around. So he's going to see if that good offensive line, a good running game, decent targets in Pittman, Pierce can help things. Now, I think Alec Pierce, Joshua Downs, all pass catchers, they're going to take a hit, in my opinion. However, I think this could be the Philip Rivers sign could be a blessing in disguise for Jonathan Taylor, just to have a competent quarterback out there. What do you think, LT? Good, bad with Philip Rivers?
First of all, Philip Rivers did, 8 times Pro Bowl. I'm sure he remembers how to throw the ball. Now, whether he's in game shape or not is a whole different story. After 4 or 5 years and you haven't been working out, even if you've been exercising every day, once you're in the game, that's a whole different type of cardio. In the game, that cardio, those plays come at you fast. and he may not be in game shape. So
and like you
he
said,
could have to hand the ball off a lot.
Has this ever happened before? Have we ever had a guy come in after 4 years of retirement?
I'm not sure.
I can't think of anything off the top of my head. So, deep diving into that, folks, it's hard to draw an example of a guy that's come in 4 years off of retirement. But, hey, that's what it is with the Colts quarterback situation. Jane Daniels, LT, hurt elbow. Is he done for the season? Jane Daniels?
It would be in their best interest to set him down and let him get healthy for next year.
Exactly. You got nothing to play for. All you got to play for, really, lose some more games and, get a better draft pick. That's what you could do, but yeah, I think Jane Daniels, they no need to put him out there. Dan Quinn said that, Daniels was cleared and he expects him to play again, but I think that's a malpractice to put your franchise quarterback out there when there's nothing to play for. Tyrod Taylor knocked out of the game with the Dolphins, groin injury. Interesting story, LT. I'm in a Superflex best ball league. Two of my I roster 4 quarterbacks because it's been so bad. 3 of those quarterbacks was Justin Fields, Tyrod Taylor, and Marcus Mariota. So I got his. You know who made the starting lineup? It's a best ball league. It was Justin Fields because of his 0. Tyrod Taylor and Marcus Mariota both got negative points before their play last week. So yeah, that's just an interesting tidbit there. That it is bad with the Jets. They got this that Cooper Cook. That was a rookie out of Missouri. I think Justin Fields will take over. It was one of those things where Justin Fields was disgruntled. And then they made him. They said it was a knee injury, but my sources out of our New York affiliate says they think it was a disciplinary inactive because he didn't want to go and run any wildcats in practice and stuff like that. So take it for what it's worth. But now it's one of those things that you want to go with your rookie Cook or you want to go with Justin Fields. I mean, the guy's going to get paid regardless. Geno Smith. Left the second half of the Broncos, shoulder injury, did throw 116 yards and a score before exiting. Folks, Kenny Pickett is back. Las Vegas has the Eagles on deck. Kenny Pickett revenge game? We'll see. But yeah, I think Kenny Pickett will be taking over for Geno Smith because you can't do much worse than what Smith's been doing this year. And Devon Achane, rib injury in the second quarter. Folks, this guy had 20 points in the first half of the game against the Jets. And if it was out of hand, they said he probably would have went back in. So I'm thinking, hey, winners of 5 straight. The surging Dolphins are going to keep Achane there. Achane has been, yes, he had been the highest scoring running back, but he has been the most consistent. He has hit double-digit points in PPR leagues all year. He has never had one game under 10 points in double digits this year. Pretty amazing. He's been over 20 for the majority of the season. But yeah, he's only been lower than he's never been lower than a running back 2, and he's been a running back 2 3 times, 11 times running back 1. That's how consistent and awesome Devon Achane is. But the worry about here is it's a Monday night game. He's going to have a questionable tag. So folks, wait till the waiver wire. I got some advice for people that might want to mitigate this Devon Achane injury. Ravens Keaton Mitchell finally looked good. Look a little spruce out there, LT. 76 yards on 6 carries. However, got a 55-yard. Actually got chased down, which is surprising because Keaton Mitchell, his one asset was he ran away from people, but he actually got caught up from behind, and that's what he got injured on, a knee injury. Justice Hill's on IR. So that leaves the only person behind Derrick Henry, Rasheen Ali is the number 2 running back in Baltimore. But I'm just thinking with them in a must-win situation, it's going to be Henry first down, Henry second down, and I'll be dog Henry on third down because they got to win from here on out. You can't be trusting your season with Rasheen Ali coming in the field. And an oldie but goodie, LT, not only is it the end of his season, but I think it's an end of what I think was a very underrated career. Zach Ertz, torn ACL. LT, we all know him going to the Eagles and doing great. Moved out of the way to let Dallas or to let Goddard do his thing, and then he went to Arizona, mentored Trey McBride, got torn ACL, moved out and let McBride go in, and then of course I think this was his last stop with the Commanders. What do you think, LT? We know he's done for the year. You think he's going to try and make a comeback with the Commanders?
He could make a comeback next year. If he gets healthy, he could come back. You already know that age doesn't matter. The skill set matters. That's what we're talking about. Age doesn't matter. And as long as you know how to play ball, he could play on somebody's team next year.
Yeah, and I just don't think it's going to be for the Commanders. And the reason I say that is because they have that rookie they drafted last year, Ben Sinnott, pass catching specialist. Folks, we'll debate on the waiver wire if this guy's worth a pickup. But hey, playoff time. Yeah, that's when you start stashing possible injury replacements and stuff like that. So we might talk about Ben Sinnott some on the waiver wire portion. Darnell Washington, one of my favorite tight ends, just because that we're in SEC country and we have a soft heart for all those Washington Bulldogs that make it to the NFL. But Darnell Washington, a concussion. We'll see. He does get an extra day because it's a Monday night game. We're thinking he's 50-50, but they got so many other tight ends with, Freiermuth and Jonnu Smith that the Steelers can really take their time with Darnell Washington. So I think he'll take his time. And David Njoku, a knee injury on a TD catch in the second quarter, did not return. And I think that contributed to Harold Fannin having a big 114-1 touchdown line. More to come. I think David Njoku is going to miss. Again, why bring him back? You got a young guy, give him some more reps. That's all you can hope for. And another thing, LT, that kind of popped up on my thing, on my feed. I didn't know it. Well, if you watched the game, you would have thought it. T. Higgins, concussion protocol. After the game, he went, got checked on the sideline. They put him back in, and all he did was catch a touchdown in the fourth quarter, to almost win the game for the Bengals. But yeah, he had concussion-like symptoms after the game. Went back in the protocol, folks. If people remember, he already missed one game earlier this year with concussion. I think the season's over, LT, because like I said before, even though Cincinnati's not mathematically eliminated, they're pretty much eliminated because they have to leapfrog two teams, and both those teams play each other. So yeah, even though mathematically they're not alive, I really don't think, like I said, since it's his fourth documented concussion, I think this is the second time in 2 weeks they went in concussion protocol. I think this is going to be like the Olave injury last year with nothing to play for. T. Higgins is out for the rest of the year. What, LT, you got any other tidbits you want to share with the people?
No, that's all. That's good for the news and notes.
All right. Hey, and folks, we got we're not gonna go waiver wire yet because I kind of like to save that coming up. I want to go on some studs and duds because I think LT, did you have any studs that is on the tip of your tongue?
I might have one, and I was really shocked because it was snowing when I watched the game, but Josh Allen still got 40 points.
Yeah, and that's what I told. I was watching. Actually, I was watching part of it because I had the Red Zone channel, and I was watching it with my daughter, and we saw snow. And it's like, oh, I said that could be a thing. But then when the Bengals started scoring, and Chase Brown 2 touchdowns, T. Higgins 2 touchdowns. The only person that wasn't scoring was Ja'Marr Chase, which was crazy. But yeah, I was telling my daughter, I said, yeah. After the second quarter, I said, after halftime, I said Josh Allen's going to have to put on the Superman cape, and that's just what he did. So he put on the Superman cape, and look at those. Another game, 3 passing touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown. That 1 rushing touchdown. It wasn't one of those tush push 1-yarders. It was a 40-yard scramble in the snow. He was amazing. Michael Wilson, hey, garbage yards count garbage points count just as much as regular points. Am I not?
They do.
That's right.
They
They
do.
were behind by 4 touchdowns, and Jahmyr Gibbs said, "I don't care. Let me sling it." Michael Wilson, 2 touchdowns. I mean, he's showing what we thought Marvin Harrison was going to do last year when he was drafted so high. So hey, I think that can only help him, really, right? I mean, they showcased Michael Wilson. It's like, hey, look what he can do. They just gonna have to, unfortunately, they got to build some more on the defensive side because I do think they have the offense. Oh, and they need to get some healthy running backs in there. Jahmyr Gibbs, another just monster game, 3 touchdowns, but just through the air though, 7 receptions, 77 yards, just simply amazing. Puka Nacua, I unfortunately had the unfortunate one of my teams had to play the Jahmyr Gibbs Puka Nacua combo. That was not fun going against those two. Shedeur Sanders, that's your man, LT. LT called it 2 weeks ago. Yeah, he and he did it. Yeah, granted, yes, it was Tennessee. But you know what? The most surprising of all this, and it's the guy that played opposite of Shedeur Sanders, Tony Pollard. LC, where did this come from? Tony Pollard was only started in 20% of leagues because he's done nothing all year. So all he did after doing, he was the opposite of Devon Achane. He was consistent. He was consistent in getting under double digits, if you guys were drift. But all Tony Pollard did was he went on the road against the number 1 defense in the league and ran for 161 yards and 2 touchdowns. And folks, I'll tell you right now, he was on my bench. I have him in one of my leagues. I started Zach Charbonnet over Tony Pollard, and I felt good about it until I saw what Tony Pollard did to the Cleveland Browns. Jaxon Smith-Njigba, just another ho-hum 2 touchdown game. Another guy that LT was not scared of to continue to light up. Had him in his mini draft, and of course we'll get to that in a future. But Ryan Flournoy, yes, that is not a misprint. That what you see, his stats should have been CeeDee Lamb stats because he got every one of those stats after CeeDee Lamb left due to a concussion. He was in concussion pro. Oh, that's another guy I forgot on the news and notes. CeeDee Lamb in concussion protocol, but everything I hear says that he should clear for the next week. And Blake Corum, hey, all we've been doing is talking Blake Corum.
We called it last week.
Yeah, we said, hey, fire him up. We said game script. He was going to be good, and he proved it because a lot, now with pretty much the Rams locking up a playoff spot, they might want to keep Kyron Williams a little healthy and not just use and abuse him. Well, a way to do that is to put Blake Corum. But I'll tell you, LT, eye test, Blake Corum actually looks better than Kyron. He's having the same amount of touches, but he's been more efficient on his touches. Hey, Kyron outsnapped Corum 35-21 in snaps against Arizona. However, Williams had only 1 more rushing attempt, and Corum was more efficient with the rushes. Hey, Corum, as long as he's starting to get the red zone treatment too, and that's where you want to get a guy out there that's going to get red zone in a explosive offense because he could get, like, if you remember Chase Brown last year, what was his benefit? His team, the Bengals, were always in within the 5-yard line, and he had a lot of just fall backwards into the end zone. And I think Corum could get you that going forward, especially during these playoff weeks. And hey, I'm gonna we see Brandon Aubrey on here as a stud. I'm gonna list 3 studs from the field goal unit. We had Brandon Aubrey, as you can see, I mean, he's just automatic from 50 plus. But how about last night, Monday night, Jake Elliott and Brandon Dicker. Dicker, the kicker, both guys, it was a field goal fest. So if you were going against those kickers, I feel for you because, and a nice little stat. Did you know Cameron Dicker is now 99 out of 101 in under 50-yard field goals? That's amazing. To have that type of efficiency from a kicker. And the thing is, if John Harbaugh, he don't care about analytics. He said analytics that'll get you unemployment checks. is what analytics do because it causes you to lose games. He's going to get the points. And there were 3 short yardage, 4th downs that Harbaugh could have gone with it, but he went and got the points. And guess what, LT? They won the game. Deuce Staley, the prior coach in there, he would have went for every one of those 4th downs. He probably would have failed on 2 of the 4th downs, and he would have wound up losing the game. So Harbaugh, good call. Get the points when you can. And A.J. Brown, another 100 yards, 6 catches. But, hey, how about – okay, what – is there any way that Kareem Hunt, if the Chiefs are out of the playoff, are they going to continue to run Kareem Hunt? I mean, they got to see what they got with Brashard Smith, right? I mean, you got to give him more run to see what you got. Kareem Hunt's not going to be with you next year.
But all Kareem Hunt has done is score touchdowns.
Yeah, he's been pretty amazing. But
he's been very consistent.
And to do it against the Texans defense, yeah, because he had another touchdown and he had 2 4th down conversions on short yardage, and that's against a very good Texans defense. If you have that Texans defense, congratulations. But hey, I'm going to say another defense. What about the Seattle Seahawks? They continue to do it again, double digits again. Hey, I can't believe Mr. 411's team. I still cannot believe he did not keep that Seattle defense through the bye. But Mr. 411, he's always working. He's always trying to find the angle. But yours truly, as soon as I had an alert set up, LT. I said, alert me if in any league I have that Seattle is dropped. I have wound up having Seattle in like 5 of my leagues just because when people dropped them on the bye week, I made sure I rostered them because now I'm just playing them every week because, it was crazy. They had an off game against Tennessee, but then they just, the past 2 weeks have been the top scoring defense in the league. Any more studs, LT, you want to bring up?
I've got an honorable mention.
Okay.
My honorable mention is Christian Watson. And I know he didn't make any of our lists, but 4 catches for 89 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Another 2 touchdowns.
That is still 25 fantasy points.
And I'll tell you, that's a great point. Christian Watson is doing what we thought he was going to do last year, before the injury. And now he's saying, hey, look at me.
In the last 4 games, he has 5 touchdowns.
But there is a word of caution. You know who's on deck?
I wouldn't start him this week.
Patrick Surtain will be shadowing Christian Watson.
I would not flex him versus Denver.
That is a place where top wide receiver ones go to die. That is a tough matchup. Any more studs?
What about Saquon last night? We were all sitting on him on the first half doing absolutely nothing. And we knew he had to control the game, and he did in the second half.
Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, we'll talk about in the Listener League, I think he won somebody a playoff spot with that touchdown. So that will definitely be talked about when we talk about the Listener League. But welcome back, Saquon Barkley, one of those patented open field runs where they just don't catch you from behind. I also want to bring up that we said Shedeur Sanders. Now, are you still excited about Shedeur Sanders going forward, LT? I mean, the matchups ahead scare you any with Shedeur Sanders?
I would still keep playing him. I think he has the talent. It's going to be up to him and the coach to get along.
Yeah, and I think you made a good point because what's frustrating is he brings them down the field and then they take him off to run a wildcat. It's like right. I really don't understand that. But Cleveland on deck in your fantasy playoffs. Hey, Chicago, very good to pass against as long as it's not 5 degrees outside. That's the only bad thing. It is in Chicago. But hey, and then they have Buffalo. And Pittsburgh, not bad defenses. So Shedeur Sanders, hey, if you had a Daniel Jones, if you was and playing musical chairs with the Daniel Jones and so forth. But hey, my surprise stream of the week, I've seen Trevor Lawrence out on quite a few rosters, and folks, they have the Jets upcoming. So I think this is a nice little stream quarterback you might want to do. If you're looking at streaming sections. But before that, let's go to the duds section. Any duds? We don't like duds, but are there any duds you want to talk about? I can bring. Oh yeah, hey, Bijan Robinson.
Bijan.
80. I mean, didn't get the 100. I mean, it was just just an abysmal performance once again from the Falcons. And hey, I said it on the 411 draft recap. I said that trade when the Falcons traded up to get that extra defensive player, I said they're going to regret giving up next year's first round pick because they don't have a first round pick next year, and it looks like it could be top 10. And guess who got that pick, LT? A team that's most likely going to go to the Super Bowl and the Rams. Yeah, that's just what the Rams need. Another first round draft pick with everything they got. Good job, Atlanta, on blowing yet another trade. Brees Hall, just all the Jets were bad. All the Bears were bad. What's crazy is you have Josh Oliver, backup tight end to the Minnesota Vikings, catching 2 touchdowns, and you can only give Justin Oliver had just as many touchdowns as Justin Jefferson had catches. Malpractice going on in Minnesota at this time, and Justin Jefferson just a lost season. But it looks like J.J. McCarthy got better. It's just he's not getting. It didn't help Justin Jefferson out. And hey, if you were not if your name wasn't Jaden Reed, Josh Jacobs, or Christian Watson, every other Green Bay person was a dud. Look at that. Romeo Dubs, 0. Wicks, last week's hero, this week's 0. Any other guys?
And also, Dobbs had 2 targets, and he missed both of them.
Yeah.
But I think when he missed the receptions early in the game, they just keyed on Christian Watson, and they knew he was going to catch the ball, so they just kept throwing it his way.
Yeah. Hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right?
Right.
So another dud. I'm going to go with you see the DJ Moore, but it was. I just saw McNungai was he got the 2-point conversion, but him and DeAndre Swift actually did well. It's the running game that's doing well for Chicago, but it is hard to trust Caleb Williams at this time. Just really inaccurate, and it's one of those things like, hey, if you're going to the Bears, it was great. I say it was great. They ran the exact same play that they used to beat Philadelphia, that little play action to commit in the end zone. But Caleb Williams this time underthrew the ball and got the interception to end the game. It was disappointing performance from that perspective. What else am I missing on here? Because we said Bijan Robinson, we said Jaden Daniels, of course, that was injury related. We could say, happened. That kind of brought McLaurin down. Devontae Adams, kind of a poor performance, but I think that was just a thing of the running backs. Corum was rushing touchdowns and Kyron Williams was rushing touchdowns.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Devontae
that was
Adams,
definitely game script.
Yeah. So, and then by the time they had that big lead, there's no need to, do anything else.
Okay, I've got one for you. What about Bam Knight for Arizona? 7 rushes for 16 yards.
Yeah, that's not a
I know they were playing the Rams, and I know the Rams have a decent defense. But who do you trust in the Arizona backfield?
Nobody. I mean, I'm just going with somebody else at that point. So Darnell Mooney. A disappointing thing for your if, like I said, another Falcon that, hey, if it's not like Drake London. Thing is, Moody did have what looked like a touchdown call back. That kind of was what really expected. Kenneth Walker III, LT, he's killing you, LT. Him and Ladd McConkey, both of them just letting you down. If it wasn't for Josh Allen, LT, you could have gotten hurt in the listener league.
Absolutely.
So,
McConkey with 1 catch.
Yeah, look at this 411 from Parts Unknown joining in there. And hey, I was trying to stall for you 411 because we didn't want to talk about the listener league till you got back. But now, since you're back, hey, are you ready to go to the waiver wire, LT?
Yeah, let's do the waiver wire and then we'll go to listen to league.
Okay. Like we said, Blake Corum is a guy that I really like. Shador Sanders and 411. I did some breaking news. I see Riley Leonard on your waiver pickup. You need to scratch his name out and put Phillip Rivers as a waiver wire pickup.
Oh no!
Yes,
Old man Rivers.
Oh man, Rivers. That's right. Has been signed with the Colts. Right. As I was talking to LT. So yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting. But the Ryan Flournoy, I think that's a guy that you only pick up if CeeDee Lamb is inactive, because CeeDee Lamb, if he's not inactive, or if he's active, Ryan Flournoy is not getting any targets. But the one I really want to talk about, and we talked about at the beginning of the show, we talked about A-Chain being backed up. However, he's going to have a questionable tag, right? Rib injury, more of a pain maintenance type issue. We think he can gut it out. However, if you want to cover yourself, if you're in the playoffs, you got to cover yourself. Jalen Wright was the guy that came in for A-Chain. It wasn't Ollie Gordon. Ollie Gordon kept his spell role. Jalen Wright was the workhorse for A-Chain, and it just looked like, if A-Chain is the one that's not going to go, Wright's the one to look at. And there any other guys? Well, we said Shador Sanders just for matchup purposes, just because, like I said, he's got a decent matchup against the Bears. My Chicago correspondent says one thing you can do on the Bears is pass on the Bears, because apparently their top corner, Jalen Wright, or Jalen Johnson, is still not fully healthy. But I think if Tennessee can score, although I don't know about the NFL, Mr. For one, I don't know. I thought that Tennessee was a layup matchup for the Browns. I'm almost scared to start the Browns in the playoffs. With your playoffs on the line, do you want to really start a team that gave up so many points to the Titans?
Well, you know what, fellas? There's a game that no one talks about, and it was earlier in the season when Dylan Gabriel threw like 2 touchdowns or so, and they were playing against the Vikings, I believe.
Oh yeah,
and
that was a London game.
Yeah, the London game, and the Browns, they lost that game on defense.
Yeah,
surprisingly, it wasn't the offense was that the reason why they lost. It was the defense. They gave up the game-winning drive against the Vikings.
So I that's what I'm saying, with such a Jekyll and Hyde type thing. Do you really want to trust that going forward? So. Okay, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, yeah, we'll see. I mean, I was surprised because the Browns are one of the better defensive teams in the league, just like Houston Texans. We were talking about Houston, earlier a couple weeks ago about their defense, and man, look at how their defense has been over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, and if you are scared of defense, a waiver wire pickup could be somebody like a Luther Burden for Chicago, right? And we might say about it, hey, Odunze has a stress fracture in the foot. So Odunze's absent. We saw what can happen when he's absent. Luther Burden III, second-round rookie, played a season-high 69% of snaps, led the team in targets of 6, 4 receptions, 67 yards. Listen, Chicago's still going to be a run-first defense, but DJ Moore was not the answer. It was Luther Burden III. So if you're really wanting to play, having to pick up a wide receiver, he's a guy you could look to on waiver wires. But folks, I want to go into the tight end, into the tight room, because I saw in 75% of leagues available, Isaiah Likely. You said calculate. Don't they have Mark Andrews? Hey, folks, they're playing Cincinnati this week. Cincinnati has been historically bad against tight ends. Case in point, the Buffalo Bills have 3 tight ends. All 3 tight ends scored double digits against Cincinnati just last week. Isaiah Likely, he played Cincinnati 2 weeks ago. Had had that weird touchdown that fumbled into the end zone. And guess what? He had another touchdown this last week. It was a touchdown. That wasn't a touchdown. LT, you tell me how that wasn't a touchdown last week with Isaiah Likely. The guy was in the end zone, took 2 steps.
It could have been a touchdown. He was in there.
I mean, so, but yeah, but yeah, and I'm telling you right now, if Isaiah Likely's on waiver wire and you're in the playoffs, you can do worse than Isaiah, or you can do worse than Isaiah Likely, because if Isaiah Likely's out there, I'm picking him up and I'm starting him with confidence just because it's Cincinnati. And
I'm an Isaiah Likely truther. Last year, when I was trying to make my playoff run to get in the playoffs, when the regular tight end was out and they gave him opportunity, he is very talented, and all he did was get catches and put up yards.
Yep. And so that's a guy I just wanted to concentrate on that. If it's really a light waiver wire week. But the good thing is, a lot of times you can get who you want because you're not going against all 12 teams. Now you're just most likely going to be competing against playoff teams for waiver wires people. But yeah, I again, if you're an HA owner, you got to pick up Jalen Wright, and if you're a Kyron Williams owner, heck, if I'm playing against Achan, if I'm playing against Kyron Williams, heck, I'm picking up Jalen Wright and Blake Corum as blocks this week if I have to. So yes, now you can play offense and defense since you're in playoffs, because you have no friends when it's playoff time, Mr. 411.
Absolutely, all's fair in love and war, man.
There any other waiver wires that you can think of, LT?
Nope, that covers it for me. We're good here.
Oh, so that means it's listener league time, Mr. 411. I just shot the producers a little note. There we go. Folks, Mr. 411, the commish of the listener league, was sweating it out on Monday night. He says he always, and Mr. Mowan, you always love the Monday Night Miracles. You live for Monday Night Miracles. But when your playoffs on the line, folks, it was win or go home. It was 6 seed versus 7 seed. 411 against Kurt. He was down 20 points. And what happened? He called on Saquon Barkley to break one to the house because he had to pick up the Bijan Robinson, and the Austin Genty, disappearing act. And but hey, Michael Wilson, Jacoby Brissett, the stack gets 411 to the next one, and then Saquon Barkley with the cherry on top. And folks, I tell you, I don't know. Hey, 411 said he wasn't scared, but I looked at Saquon Barkley's log, and there wasn't a 20-point game in the last since the bye week. So I know LT. I know 411 might not have seemed scared, but if I'd have seen that game log, I'd have been a little scared. But hey, 411, you live, you survive. Congratulations. And it's so funny. Be the one. That's right. So and what happened? What was crazy is, folks, not only did he win his matchup, he got to avoid me in the first round because I was licking my chops, Mr. 411. I wanted to see some of that Barkley Genty, see that wishbone to see. But yeah, because if you look, Bijan Mustard was Mr. 411's best friend by beating Flight Squad, because that put Flight Squad in the same record as 411 but had less points. So that put Flight Squad into 6th. And so I get to play. As you can see, here's the I'm not going to go because I'm not going to gloss over beast mode, doubling up the grit splits. LT got tired of he took all his frustrations off from last week on the grit splits and put him in his place. LT wanted to leave on a good note, but hey, LT's not done. LT said, I'm going to take the consolation bowl. He said he's going to get something for his time. But hey,
don't pull a Notre Dame.
No. Yeah, don't take your ball and go home. Come on, we don't do that in the listener league. Hey, and that's the thing, Mr. 411. People know in this league, the LTs, and if Robert hadn't been in the playoffs, losing teams are picking up waiver wire pickups. I will tell a quick story if the listeners will indulge me. This was back when everybody worked at our place of business, right? And Robert was out of the playoffs, folks. It was last week, out of the playoffs, right? And Lacey Dawson was playing 4-1-1, a typical. And Lacey Dawson had both quarterbacks on a bye. She hadn't planned on it. Robert, being out of the playoff, went and picked up all the quarterbacks. Yeah. And Lacey had no quarterbacks to play because he was out of the playoffs and he picked up. I mean, he did. You could say it was but hey, he said it was strategy. I said, what kind of strategy are you doing? He said, well, I don't need to win my game. He was trying to get a lower seed in the consolation bracket to get a better matchup in the consolation bracket. I kid you not. You can't make this stuff up. But yeah, hey, we play to the end. We don't care what happens. And that's one of the reasons I love the Listener League, Mr. Foreman, because even in the playoffs, you're going to have the people that don't have anything to play for other than pride going to still make waiver moves. But hey, with that said, here's the bracket. I'll be playing longtime listener and fan of the show, Flight Squad, also known as Windy City Warrior, big Bears fan. Me and him will be squaring off. And another quick story, Flight Squad also happened to be we went to high school together. I was a few grades ahead of him. I was actually good friends with his sister. His sister actually introduced me to her brother when he was younger. And we just got along. We worked together in high school, worked at a place together. He was my best man in my wedding, Mr. 411. So very good friend of mine, but he is not a friend this week, Mr. 411. We don't have friends when we play against each other. So all we'll be doing is talking back and forth on how we're going to make each other's life miserable this week. And then, hey, and I'm glad you are playing him because I wanted to win because I did not want to play. I did not want to have to play Flying Zone Liam because we all know he has Jahmyr Gibbs. And everybody knows Jahmyr Gibbs can be a one-man wrecking crew. But good news, Mr. 4-1, he's going against a top 5 rushing defense in the Rams. So you might have a little thing, but the only thing is they can pass the ball to Jahmyr Gibbs too. That's the thing. But hey, we'll just do a quick breakdown. I mean, you still got your stack going. The only thing is your stack happens to go against a top 5 pass defense in the Houston Texans. So hey,
Seattle.
In Seattle with Phillip Rivers. Oh man, welcome to the NFL, Phillip Rivers. You get to go against the Seattle Seahawks in a game. Good luck with
throw it to Pittman. Throw it to Pittman.
Hey, but hey, there you go. Hey, but hey, the good news, you got Saquon Barkley against the Raiders. If you can run against somebody, it can be the Raiders. So, Mr. 4-1, good luck to you. You're going to have your work cut out because you got to go against Puka Nacua and Jahmyr Gibbs. We talked about at the beginning of the show. If you played them last week, you probably got a loss because those two guys can win games by themselves. So I just want to say good luck to Mr. 411. Good luck to LT on his continuing, wrecking havoc. You got to buy in the consolation bracket because you barely missed the playoffs. But good luck to everybody. And wait, tune in to next week. We got to like, subscribe, and notify because we're going to be back next week. You want to see how the Listener League is going? We'll keep you updated. Any other comments on the Listener League, Mr. 411? LT.
Anything, LT?
No, I'm good here, but I'm playing it out to the end. Consolation bracket or not, I'm playing it.
Yeah, and I agree with LT on that. Play it all the way through because you never know. It keeps you in rhythm, and it definitely kind of shows you. What if? I mean, it's a week-to-week thing with this fantasy football, and your team could very well go on a run, and you can kind of see how these guys are going to how they play it out. If you just put the ball up and go home, you're missing out on some opportunity there. And whenever there's a chance to play.
And in this league, it was so close to him because just look at the Bijan Mustard got some wanted to get out some of his frustrations, which Bijan's had a great season, just not record-wise. I mean, he was top 3 in points, just had one of those weird things where just had bad matchups. But Flight Squad was the number 3 seed before his matchup started, dropped all the way to the number 6 seed on just one loss. So that's how anything can happen in a league like this. It's very competitive. Bijan Mustard, I appreciate him not giving up. He was into it to the end. So and if you just look, and I'll go to standings real quick, just to show people. I was able to inch out Robert in total points for the year. So that was a tough battle to the end. So luckily I got total points. But look, Bijan Mustard, he still had 1,800 points. That's pretty amazing. To only have 5 wins. But look, he gave up 8. I mean, people scored 8. Of course, I had 1,800 scored. I had to score 1,900 points just to make the playoffs because people were scoring like crazy against me. So, but yeah, that's just that. Hey, it was a competitive league, and I'm looking forward to the playoffs. But I don't know, Mr. Foreman, because if I lose that first round of the matchup, I don't know if you're going to be able to get me on the air because I won't be so depressed. It's hard to get on the air after you get out of the playoffs, So, well, with that, we're going to go to another portion of the show, the ending portion of the show, an announcement I will make. Mini draft 2025 mini draft champion LT. Well, you might say calculator. We still got through, folks. We can't catch him. LT won another dominating week, folks. I'll pull it up. Look at what LT did. Another, not just 100, 109. I don't know how he does it. I mean, Gibbs. Okay, I'll give you Gibbs, but he also got the highest scoring quarterback in Josh Allen. Got the highest scoring tight end in Puka Nacua. I don't understand how he does it, Mr. Foreman, but he just did it again. Any comments? Because me and you could go on a roll. We can't catch LT. LT has wrapped up the championship already. Now we're still going to do it because people probably want to see who LT picks so they can use them in their daily fantasy leagues. So, but hey, any comments to LT you might want to make?
Yep. Well, congratulations, LT. And there will be something on the way to you, and you'll be able to present it on a upcoming episode. And that's why everybody needs to hit that like, subscribe, and the notification bell, and share, because sharing is caring. And you'll be able to see what LT receives for winning the mini draft league. And hey, we're gonna open the doors for some more competitors, because obviously me and Calculator are having a rough time trying to keep up with LT. So we're gonna need some people to jump in and try to take this man down.
Yeah, because the more the merrier, right? The but hey, I just appreciate LT actually, because if people follow the show, LT started out as a guest picker. Like when we had regulars on the show that couldn't show up, LT would jump in and do the show. So, and we enjoyed LT so much, we said, hey, let's just make LT a regular contributor. If he has the time. We know LT's a busy man.
Oh yeah.
So we appreciate the time that he takes out to come in and definitely, not because, and if people follow the show, LT is a waiver wire warrior. So he contributes more than just, this daily fantasy content he helps out with the mini draft. We appreciate his waiver wire knowledge as well. So, but with that said, we're still going to spin it up because I'm going to have to see who LT picks this week.
Yeah, LT earned his shirt.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Very, very much so. So I get first pick, and
I also won this week from the number 1 spot.
Exactly. And that's what I'm saying. I have yet, the only time I've won is from the number, I think I have 3 victories. All of them was from the number 2 slot. So no, 2 from the 2 and 1 from the 1, or 1 from the 3. I've never won from the 1. So LT shows how it done. Oh, yeah. But LT, you got the 2 slot on this one.
Yeah. And once again, we're using the stats from the listener league. Running backs get 0.25 per carry. We like those backs to give them credit for their opportunities. And we'll see what happens. We're drafting a quarterback, wide receiver, tight end, and a running back. One of each.
One of each. So with that said, I got first pick. And it's got to be, it's going to. It's like, where do I go though? I mean, yeah, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I believe Sauce Gardner is hurt. So, hey, I'm just going to go with JSN. I mean, he's going to. I don't think he'd come back to me with a Seahawks fan that picks twice before I pick. So I'm going to go ahead and get JSN off the board before anybody else can pick him. Who I think is one of the top receivers in the league. All right, LC. The world is your oyster.
I'm going with one of my favorite players in the whole league. I'm taking Christian McCaffrey.
Welcome back, McCaffrey. Against Tennessee.
Well,
that's hey, you can't go with that. He's going to definitely get the workload. All right, Mr. 411.
I get back to back, right?
Back to back.
So you know what I'm about to do, and I definitely hope this works. I'm drafting Gibbs and Nakua back to back.
Okay. Hold on. Aren't you playing against Gibbs and Nakua in the league? So for one says, even if I win, I lose, and even if I lose, I win. That's what he's doing. I hear you.
That's one of those things where you vote against your team just so they'll do good.
The reverse jinx, I think, is what they call it.
Hey, maybe I can finish last in the listener league this week.
So if you lose the mini draft, Mr. 4-1, that probably.
I mean the mini draft.
Yeah. You want to lose the mini draft, so that means you most likely have a chance.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah,
I knew exactly where you was going with that. All right, LC.
Who's his quarterback, by the way?
I don't think you have to worry about his quarterback too much, from what I understand.
Well, since Josh Allen did me so well last week, I got to go back to the well. Got to go right back to the well.
I got you. Josh Allen. So I don't need a running back because both running backs have been picked. So I got to go quarterback, tight end. Well, tight end. I mean, unfortunately, I'm not taking a tight end against that Houston defense, even though I've been taking McBride every week. And I'm not taking Brock Bowers against that Philly defense. So, hey, I said it on the waiver wire show, the waiver wire portion. Why don't I do it? I'm going Isaiah Likely. I think he's the better pass catching tight end against the Cincinnati Bengals. I feel so good, folks. I think you can get Isaiah Likely still. Him and Cody Parkinson is another guy I like for the Rams because if you follow tight end rankings like I do, Detroit just lost their safety, who was a guy that would actually single cover tight ends because he was so big and physical. Branch, he's actually out with the injury. So I really think if you want cheap daily tight ends this weekend, I would target the matchup rather than player and save money with either Parkinson for the Rams or, in this case, like I did, going with Likely for the Ravens, and a must-win situation. And so that leaves me my quarterback. I'm going to. Oh man. You know what? I mean, he's got to be an MVP. It's going to be a shootout. It's going to be indoors. I'm going Matt Stafford, right? I mean, he's having an incredible year. And they need to win this game to stay in first place, which is an upcoming matchup with Seattle. So this game means something, and they're at home, and what should be a high over/under. If I'm not mistaken, it's the highest over/under of the weekend this week with the Rams and Detroit. So I'm gonna take the quarterback of what should be the highest score game of the week, and Matt Stafford. All right,
Matt,
LT.
Matt 3 touchdown Stafford.
Hey, that's right. And guess what? If I got him throwing touchdowns, hopefully it's not all. Well, hopefully it's not going to Nakua, right? 4-1.
Right.
I'm sure he's hoping some of those other receivers get involved so that Nakua's not catching everything. Either that or Devontae Adams gets back into the end zone.
Yeah,
So,
let's let Adams have a 3 TD day.
there you go.
That'd be
All right,
great.
LT. It's up to you. You need a wide receiver and a tight end.
I am definitely not scared. And when you get into the playoffs, they always tell you, don't worry about the matchups. Start your studs.
Yeah.
Start your best players. So I'm going with Amon-Ra St. Brown against the Rams.
And for a guy that just sprained his ankle on Thanksgiving, he looked mighty fine to me in his first game back.
I agree.
Yeah. So, all right, Ms. Foreman, you got back-to-back quarterback, tight end.
Yeah, and I'm going with Sam Darnold and Kincaid at tight end.
Oh,
Stat.
the Darnold and Kincaid. Hey, Kincaid can blow up at any time.
No, we don't want him to.
I know. So just so people know, say, what is 411 doing? Let's look at Sam Darnold. Oh, he's playing Sam
psychology.
Darnold. Yeah, he is going straight reverse psychology. I like it, Mr. 411. All right, LT, tight end.
Tight end, sticking with the theme. I'm going with the theme, and I'm staying with it. Brock Bowers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Start your studs. The only thing that does scare me, and I can say this to all of our listeners out there, watch the weather on these games. Definitely watch the weather this weekend.
And I'm actually going with Saquon Barkley, and the reason I'm saying that is because first of all they need to win, and how does Philadelphia win? They win by running the ball. So I think, and it's going to be cold. It's going to be windy at Philadelphia, and they're playing Vegas. Vegas is not going to want to play outdoors in 12-degree weather. And I think Barkley, this is his get right game. And that's why I like 4-1. Miss 4-1, I hate your Michael Wilson, Brissett stack.
Yeah, man.
Houston. But I think Barkley's going to get you a lot to keep you in the game because I really like Barkley this week, and that's why I kind of weighted it because I knew I had a feeling McCaffrey and Gibbs would go, but I had my eyes on Barkley early on, and that's why I didn't pick him with my first pick because I had a good feeling I would get him with my last. But yeah, lineups are as follows. I got Stafford going against in a high-scoring game against Detroit. I got Barkley again. Sweet matchup at home against Vegas. Jaxon, who in my opinion, number one receiver in the league. And Isaiah Likely going against one of the historic. I'm not talking about just this year. I'm talking about historically poor defenses against tight ends in Cincinnati. LT, stud Allen, stud McCaffrey, stud St. Brown, stud Bauer. LT did the start the stud lineups. He didn't care about matchups with this one. He said he's going to start his studs. And then, hey, it's worked for him so far this year, hasn't it, Mr. 411? So,
it has.
So hey, it could be a philosophy that pays off again. And then 411, he's going reverse psychology with Sam Darnold, who's he playing against in the Listener League. Gibbs, who he's playing against in the Listener League. Nakua and Kincaid, both who he's playing against in the Listener League. So if Mr. 411 wins the mini draft, he will lose the Listener League. If he wins the Listener League, that means likely if he wins the Listener League, he loses the mini draft. So either way, 411's a winner. And any way you look at it, he is a loser. So, so it is what it is. But hey, I just can't expand on my congratulations to the mini draft winner this year for LT. It was an impressive performance to say the least to have it wrapped up by week. We know we're still 3 weeks left,
Yeah. Job well done, LT. Job well done, man.
And we're still gonna bring the mini draft, even though because that we do it because we like to have fun ourselves. But again, we do it to help people out with daily leagues. Because hey, if you would have followed LT's advice throughout this year, you'd be making some money this year in your daily lineups.
That's right.
Well,
And
since both of y'all made the playoffs and I did not, so I'm gonna be rooting for both of y'all in the playoffs while I'm sitting on the sideline.
Well, thank you, LT. And well, we got to at least, we claim to know something about fantasy. We got to prove it on the field, right, Mister 411. So, but hey, and LT just missed you just missed the playoffs. You had that one bad week. Unfortunately, it was against me. That kind of but hey, it is what it is. I mean, sometimes you went and LT, you've won. Hey, you put me out of you beat me on Christmas Day in the championship one day. I will never forget that. And that's why one thing I'm so thankful that the commissioner changed championship week from not being Christmas weekend, because I didn't want to know, because if people, just to recap the story, 2 years ago we played the championship. Well, Christmas week was like a 3-day period. It's just that LT had all these 49ers, and all the 49ers played on Christmas Day. So it's like every time McCaffrey ran in for a touchdown, and he even had the kicker who was kicking field goals when they weren't getting touchdowns, and they scored every single drive, and it was painful to say the least. Mr. Foreman. So I was so grateful that the commissioner changed that setting. So now I can enjoy Christmas a little bit more now.
Well, note to all commissioners in fantasy leagues, no matter the sport, listen to your fantasy owners. You know what I mean?
Oh, and that's why this has been a successful league in my opinion. And folks, this thing's been going on since I think it was Labor Day of 2001. Mr. Foreman, when it all started. That's when we started, and it's just grown, and now it's a very popular league. That hey, and Mr. Foreman, hey. Comment on the message boards if you want to get in the league. Mr. 41 will file it down, and if you're lucky enough, we might be able to get you in the league. But unfortunately, we have a lot of interest in the league, and we always, usually have a full deck. So, but hey, we definitely would like you to comment, likes, and subscribe. And again, put a comment out there if you want in the listener league, and we'll see what we can do.
Yeah, we'll see what we can do.
Yeah, and we've been doing this for 20 years, and I remember some of the first years that we play, we even had to sign a contract just so we could play in the league.
Yes, the contract. I remember when one person didn't sign the tape. It was old Lacey said she was going to refuse to sign the contract, and Lamont said, "Well, you're out of the league."
You're out.
She said, "You can't kick me out of the league." He said, "I'm the commissioner. I can kick you out of the league."
You got to sign the contract.
And remember one time to let new owners in, we had the quiz. Remember the quiz that we gave? If you pass the quiz, we'll let you into the league.
That's right.
They had yours truly make up some questions. Fantasy. They were all fantasy relevant, mind you, to see if you had what it take to get into the listener. What was
exactly
league back in the day? So, but yeah.
Yeah. So if you want to join our league, hey, so you want to join our league? Be ready to take the quiz.
I gotta find that somewhere. I know I got an archive somewhere, Mr. 41. But that's the evolution of what the listener league started at, and now what it's become.
Yep, absolutely. All right. Any closing remarks, champ?
It's definitely been a fun year.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and we'll be back. And if you're watching it, we appreciate you tuning in, because a lot of times if you're watching this late in the season, it's because you have something on the line. So hey, we'll continue. And like I said, people don't know this, but Mr. 41's a busy man, so I appreciate Mr. 41's flexibility and getting us on the air so that we can offer this knowledge to the people.
Oh, yeah, I appreciate that, guys.
Yeah, and that's part of it. We have 20 plus years of knowledge, and the good thing about us getting together is we can share our knowledge for the fantasy players out in the community.
That's right. And like Mr. 41, like we say, me and LT and you, we're going to do our homework anyways. So hey, now we're just going to tell people what we're doing, and hey, you can follow us, you can fade us, you can do whatever you want, but we're just going to tell you what we do and why we do it. So
that's right.
Yep.
Absolutely. We're here for the people.
That's right.
Be the one. All right.
Be the one. I love it.
All right. Well, gentlemen, look, I appreciate you guys too, man, because a lot of hard work.
Mr. 411, before we go, was there a comment on the messenger board?
Oh, let's see. Because I've been on the move. Let's see. Any
I see
comments?
you've been on the move. I was just checking to make sure. Was there a comment out there?
I'm looking.
Okay.
I'm looking. It might be something that I'm not getting my hands on, but
okay.
If we do, we'll make sure it gets out
we'll
there.
definitely talk about it. Yeah.
We'll make sure we'll make sure it stay out there.
Yeah, hey, and there's one thing that Mr. 411, he does not let comments go unnoticed. So
that's right. And we will answer comments even after the live show ends.
Yes.
You put a comment down in the description, we will answer them for you.
We absolutely will. Absolutely. Because I know there's been some that I said, hey, calculator, hey, LT, take a look at what this person said. Oh boy. But yeah, we do that. So please continue to do all those things for us. Like, subscribe, notification bell, and share. Because why, gentlemen? Both of you guys.
Because sharing is caring.
Yeah, there we go. All right. Well, then for Champ LT and for the calculator, I'm Mr. 411. We're gonna catch you all next week on another episode.
The Fantasy
Football Show.
See ya.